on in 5, and
4,
I'm going to do my spiel. Just maintain
3.
radio silence, and then we'll get cooking. I'm going to bring you in. Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody out there? We are live on YouTube. Welcome to the Nez Nation Live Personal Branding Podcast, guys. It's so good to see you. Come on in. Make sure you smash the smash button, hit that like button when you're coming in, and share this out, because even if you're not a real estate agent, if you're not in the real estate business, we got a guest on here. He's a good friend of mine who is going to teach you how to brand yourself, how to market yourself, how to make money, which is French for money, the real stuff. This guy's been in the business forever. So, I mean, grab your popcorn, grab your soda pop. You're in for a treat. We're going to have the time of our life. Let me just go into the chat. I'm going to bring him in really quickly in just a second, but let me go into the chat. Hey, Luke, good to see you. Come on in. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Tell your friends. Share this on Twitter. Anybody share this on Twitter, I'm going to give them a major shout out on the show. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm really, really pumped about this show, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to learn a lot. If you're new to my channel, I'm Professor Nez, the personal branding coach, keynote speaker, LinkedIn consultant. I run an online agency. I also run, you see it right there, a professional development academy. It's the greatest online academy on the planet, beyondthebox.com. And we have amazing courses that we're bringing out every single month. You got to go check it out, where we walk you step by step, hand in hand, personal branding, communications, job search, leadership, management, Instagram marketing, YouTube marketing, Facebook marketing, the whole gamut. You got to go check that out. So make sure you go to beyondtheboxacademy.com. It's so good to see you guys. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to bring to you our guest. This is actually kind of cool because, you know, we had another guy who was going to be on the show, but he got snowed in. There's a big blizzard on the East Coast. We're going to have him back on, but I can't think of a better guy to have on our inaugural. We're bringing the show over to YouTube. This is our first time bringing the live stream podcast to YouTube. I can't think of a better dude to kick the tires with and get things cooking than this gentleman right here. Ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, we've got serial entrepreneur. This guy has written more books than you can count on one hand. He's been a ghostwriter. He's been a entrepreneur since way back, and I mean way back. I think he even ghostwrote a book for Moses. And this guy now is taking his social media entrepreneurial business master mindset over to the real estate game, and he's absolutely crushing it. And I'm not just saying that hyperbole. He is literally crushing it with Revolved Realty Group, and he's going to tell us all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Tim Knox. Tim, how in the world are you, brother?
I'll tell you what, I was waiting to see who the guest was because he sounded great. And then I realized it was me, and I'm like, oh, it's just me. I'm great, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, brother. It's so good to see you. I mean, a lot of people don't know that we go way back. We had a podcast a couple of years ago. We're good friends. We're good pals, part of the same circles. So tell our Nez Nation audience a little bit. I also promised them there'll be some roasting going on, which I'm sure is going to happen. But tell our Nez Nation audience a little bit, because those of us who don't know, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what in the world are you doing now?
Sure. Basically, I'm an old serial entrepreneur. I've been in business for myself, 25, 30 years now. Started out in the graphic design business, went into software for many years, got into internet marketing, then retired from that, got in the retail business, retired from that, started doing consulting and publishing, and now I am in the real estate business. And so I'm just an old entrepreneur looking for what he wants to be when he grows up.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you know, the title of this show, the title of this broadcast is Real Estate Video Marketing and How to Use Social Media to Grow Your Real Estate Business. You and I, you were doing a lot of different things in the past 18 months, 24 months.
Yeah.
And I just loved watching you progress and grow and just do, to me, like, I think to be a chameleon in this game, I think you kind of have to be a chameleon. You kind of have to adapt. I think the reason that a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and people who are just trying to build their reputation online, they figure, well, I'm going to do this. This is my thing, and that's it. What do you have to say to people? Because you're obviously an example that one-trick ponies don't really last in this business. What's your take on that, Tim? And what can our audience take away from how you've kind of really, I think, mastered that?
Well, the very nature of entrepreneurs are we are visionaries. We are starters. We are, we're always looking for that next opportunity, and I think we have a very short attention span because of it. But to me, Nez,
some shorter than others.
Yeah, well, some shorter than others. Hello, where am I? Can I get a coffee? No, the thing about us, you have entrepreneurs and you have business owners, and we talk about this. I actually do a small business show with a friend of mine, and we talk about this a lot. A business owner is someone who wants to start a business and just stay in it. Basically, they start a job.
Nice.
An entrepreneur is someone who is continually starting, building, growing businesses. And with me, I think one of the reasons why we've done so well in the real estate industry in such a short amount of time is it's just another business.
Yeah.
I approach real estate the same way I approached retail, software, writing. The fundamentals, the basics are there. It's just a different product.
Right.
So I think the very nature of the entrepreneur is one who is always looking for holes in the market that can be filled, looking for opportunities. And, sometimes we get accused of being squirrels that chase every rabbit that comes by the porch, and I do that.
Yeah.
Shiny thing. But you've got to be flexible. But but there is a downside to that, Nez. You can be so fragmented that you do nothing successfully.
Right.
I mean, I know a lot of failed entrepreneurs, and they failed simply because they were unable to focus.
Right.
So the one thing with me, though, is I do one thing at a time. I'm not doing coaching or consulting or writing. It's all about building this real estate company, and this will be my sole focus until it's built, and I feel I can then move on and do something else.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to just say really quickly hello to Super Dave. Good to see you. Good to see you, Luis, my major mod. Hopefully Christian will get here soon. Good to see you, Luke. Good to see you, Flash. Flash, I caught your live stream on Tuesday. Good stuff as always. Great to see you, Flash. By the way, if you have any questions, this is your opportunity. I'm going to be asking, I've got my questions for our awesome guests, but if you have any questions for our guest, make sure you leave them in the chat. And as always, what kind of entrepreneur would I be if I didn't say this? As always, if you want, the super chat, if you want to donate, super chat questions get first dibs. So,
pony up, people.
Just to
pony
let you know.
up.
Now, that's not required, but just to let you know, I work hard for the money. Tim.
Hey, moose is not cheap. Pony up, people. Come on.
I mean, Tim, what's really interesting to me is people think that this stuff is easy. I was talking about this on the last stream. What do you say to people who, it seems to me, I call it coconuts and yachts. You see all these people on Instagram, and it's like, hey, you want to get a yacht? Or, hey, you want to make $1 million tomorrow? Do you think entrepreneurism and owning a business, because I think I'm telling my kids, F college. This is a business communication professor saying this.
Yeah.
If you want to really make it in this country, I feel that at least having a side hustle, maybe not your main gig, that's okay. You want to start off small, but having some kind of business mindset and business skill set, I think helps you adapt. What do you think of all these dudes and dudettes, Tim, that are like, entrepreneurism seems like it's almost a fad. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Is that real, not real?
You know what? I get so tired of that side hustle crap.
Yeah.
The word hustle to me. I mean, I'm from the disco era. Do the hustle was a whole different. You remember that dance?
I didn't think you were going to date yourself like that, Tim.
I know. Well,
here's
the thing. You've got what I call true entrepreneurs, and then you got the wannabes.
Yeah.
The true entrepreneurs are those guys and gals who will either come up with a business idea or start a business, focus on it, give it everything they've got, build it into something viable. And then you've got those that chase the shiny thing the Shopify.
Yes.
The digital marketing agency is the new one. Pay me to run your
Everybody's
Facebook
got a social
ad.
media marketing agency now.
Yeah, so it's not like back in the old days, Nez, we called it the get rich quick.
Yep.
You know, you would have those 30-minute infomercials and you'd learn to sell real estate using other people's money. Or you would, you know, learn to do eBay, that sort of thing. I think you can shortcut the process, but just because you're going to pay somebody $300 for a course on Shopify or Amazon FBA or digital marketing, even if the business strategy is sound, which I think they are, if you don't have the ability to focus and execute, you're going to fail. So I think a lot of it comes down to folks who are either in jobs that they don't like and they're looking for an out, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Been there, done that, got that T-shirt. But, you know.
You got the hat, too.
I'll tell you what, I got the T-shirt, the hat, the warm-up suit, the socks, the boxers. I got the whole goddamn outfit, Nez. Sorry.
That's exactly right. The whole we got the swag bag. We got everything.
Yes, and in fact, if you'd like to buy my T-shirt, they're online for sale in my Shopify store.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I think things like that is just, those are what I consider business opportunities, and they can shortcut the process, but you've still got to be able to execute. You got to stick with it. You got to throw the money at it. So I don't have a problem with those. I hate the word side hustle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think just like entrepreneur, I mean, I'm kind of sick of that word too. I'm sick of the word hustle in general. I mean, you know, we did the hustle. We were alive during the hustle. I didn't say I did it well, Luis. Luis says a bunch of us are from disco.
Yeah.
So we got some oldies in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God. Hey, Tim, we're not the only ones. We're not surrounded by millennials.
Good. Because I have a polyester shirt with your name on it. So.
I'll keep my pants on, I swear.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people
doing. I want to know.
Well, they get side hustle. They get side hustle confused. Back in the day, we used to call side hustle part-time job.
Exactly. Or it's the same thing with like pivoting. Pivoting means you failed and you're trying something different. You're not pivoting.
I'm gonna go this way now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way now. Hey Tim, have you been pivoting lately?
I had a nice pivot this morning. Thank you. I did Facebook pictures of it, by the way.
So I want to know, hey, Tim, I want to know what you're doing, because you're doing some pretty killer stuff. I mean, you kind of come from a long line of video marketing. You had a successful YouTube channel. You had a successful, platform. Yeah. Now it's really interesting. And I love how you said at the top of the hour that a true business owner, I don't want to say entrepreneur anymore, a true business mindset, somebody who's got business in their DNA, it's just a different product. It's a different, maybe trajectory or what have you, whatever you want to call it, but it still takes that same fundamentals. Talk about real estate, man. Talk about what you're doing, because I know you're doing, now you've got like this weekly show and you're doing a lot with video. And to me, video marketing and real estate, it's almost like a no-brainer, but I see a lot of people are not putting their personality into it. And even the agent that helped me with my house, he had video marketing, but it was very kind of run-of-the-mill. What do you think? What's going on? What are you doing that the Nez Nation audience can learn from? And guys, don't forget, if you have any questions for the great Tim Knox, I say great with major quotes.
Mediocre.
Please leave it in the chat. But what are you doing, Tim, that I think separates you from everybody else?
Well, here's what, you know me, I'm an old disruptor.
Yes.
Which is a fancy
there's
word
another
for being
one.
a bull
There's
in a
another
China
term
shop.
we could add to the list. He's
exactly. Real estate, by and large, hasn't changed in hundreds of years. I mean, it's actually a very simple business. You sell a house, you buy a house. Right. The guy in the middle brokers the deal and gets paid. But to me, Revolved Realty, which we started about a year and a half ago now, we are a marketing company that happens to sell real estate.
There it is.
And so what I did was I approached the business exactly like I did every business I've ever been in. When I first got my real estate license, it was never with the intent of being an agent. Nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't it. I wanted to start and build a real estate company. And I had to have my license to do that. And because I had all this entrepreneurial experience, primarily in the marketing field, I did really well really quickly, and now we've gone from 0 to 20 agents in really less than a year and a half. But what we do is we are very much a content marketing company. Meaning that in the traditional sense in real estate, you'd have like the video walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Or you'd have the guy out there, hey, I'm at the open house at 123 Elm Street. Please come see me. There's nobody here. Please.
Yeah.
But what we do is we create content for the real estate market and we present it typically in video fashion. We've got a 30-minute show every Friday morning called Real Talk Live.
Nice.
That we do on Facebook. We also record it. We'll do thousands of views on that show. I've got various little segments. I do a thing called the Real Estate Minute, more or less, because it's always more. It's like a 5-minute advice show. Then we do interviews with the experts where I interview mortgage brokers, insurance guys, industry-related folks. So we create this entire body of content putting out on Facebook and social media. And by doing that, Revolved Realty and me, because I'm in most of the videos, I think we are probably one of the most recognizable brands now in real estate in our market. And I know we're the fastest growing company.
Oh,
and,
man,
you know, and I do
to
a lot
you,
of,
brother.
you know, I'm sorry?
I said kudos to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's just common sense. It's the same thing you do. You know, it doesn't matter if it's real estate or the retail gun business or software. I'm doing what I've always done in those. And if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk now, Gary V is all about content marketing.
Yep.
And I believe every word of that because I see what it does. I can't tell you how many clients I get just off my videos on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm all about the content marketing. I don't get on there and say, hey, call me. I get on there and I'll do like, you know, the top 5 mistakes most home buyers make, or the top 3 reasons why you should buy a home this month, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it works. I am recognized all over the place as, and you know what? A lot of people think I'm that obnoxious guy on Facebook. You're damn right I am.
Never,
That's
not
me.
you, never.
Hey, thanks for noticing. I'm that obnoxious guy. And it's not just real estate. I think you could do this with any business. As long as you can present content to bring to an audience, you can do it.
Absolutely. Oh, God, I love the way you said that. It does not matter. I mean, that's what this show is all about. I mean, if you listen to what Tim is saying, and I want to say hello to your real estate whisperer, you're on the right show for sure. You and Tim should definitely hook up. Todd.live, great to see you. Neil, great to see you. Mia, awesome to see you. Neil's in the house. We got some great people in the chat. Super Dave, good to see you, brother. Guys, listen to what Tim is. What's your name again?
I am the mediocre Tim Knox. Thank you so much.
He's literally, this is the name of this podcast is Personal Branding 101. Personal. Right. You're not out there saying me. You're not out there saying come to my listing. You're not out there saying buy my product. This is the best. You're doing it in a way that's bringing value to people. So when Tim creates content and he says top 3 things you need to do to sell your house, or he says here are 3 tips when you're doing a walkthrough, or things of that nature. I mean, Tim, doesn't that really go back to like blogging 101? It goes back to SEO.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. Video is the new blog, if you will. Yeah. And they kind of go hand in hand, of course, because you can reuse or repurpose the content. But, you know, if you look at everything that's going on, I mean, who is it? Facebook said within the next 5 years, 90% of content will be delivered on video.
Yep.
You know, Google is buying the world. I mean, I can put a video up now and in 15 minutes, I can have it at the top of Google for my keywords. So, you know, again, people would rather watch than read and I think listen. And they do it on this little thing right here.
There it is.
This nice little contraption called the cell phone. So everything we do is geared toward mobile so they can watch us, you know, on their phone. And, you know, it's not doing a sales pitch. There's a very different thing there, Nez. I see a lot of realtors who try to do what we do, but it comes off as very sales pitchy. It's very stiff. You know, I will always say, hey, if I can do anything for you, I'm your guy. Call me. That's my sales pitch.
Right.
And so, but I always have people come up to me going, hey, I saw that video you did on the 5 things you should do when applying for a home loan, and it was so helpful. Thank you so much.
There it is.
Or they'll come up and, I did a 12-segment series with a buddy of mine who is a mortgage broker, and I have people every day come up to me and go, I saw that thing you did with the mortgage guy, Stephen Allen. That was so helpful. And there's a really great guy that you ought to check out on YouTube, Nez. His name is... I'm going blank. Sebastian Malinowski. I know I'm butchering his name.
Oh, Maniscalco, the comedian?
No. This guy is actually a real estate agent that teaches how to become the digital mayor in your town. And very, very inspiring. He does kind of what I do, but he actually kind of gets out in the community and actually does it more. There's another one. Krista Mayshore is the queen of this stuff.
Interesting.
And she sold 180 houses last year, I think, in Beverly Hills, and all she does is video content marketing.
That's awesome. Yeah, Real Estate Whisperer, absolutely. You and Tim should definitely hook up. She does amazing stuff on her channel, much like what Tim is talking about. And what's Tim talking about? If you ask me, he's talking about branding. He's not selling, he's branding. So he's actually putting his face out there. He's communicating his story. He's doing several things at once. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. First of all, he's not, acting infomercially. He's not acting like a car salesman.
Correct.
2, he's actually demonstrating. He's showing, not telling, which is an old writing kind of mantra, right, Tim? He's showing this is what you can do. This is going to help you. He's not saying I'm going to do it for you. He's just saying this is what you can do. It's personal. Mm-hmm. It's engaging, it's real, it's raw, it's transparent. And then at the very end, hey, by the way, I love that, Tim. Hey, by the way, if you need help, it's almost like a very soft CTA, as we say.
That's it.
That's the soft call to action.
Yeah.
That was my next question to you, Tim, actually. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the real estate business, it's a sales business.
Yep.
I mean, at its very core, it's all about buying and selling. And if you go on YouTube and look at a lot of real estate videos, especially where they're training agents how to do it, it's some really hardcore, schmarmy, scripted, me, this sort of thing. And again, what we do is we're trying to help. We're giving you information. Nez, you remember back in the good old days, we had 3 TV channels.
Yeah.
And Walter
Sadly, I remember
Walter
that.
Cronkite? Well, here's
we
the
didn't
funny
have a
thing.
remote control
There was
either.
a study done that showed that the TV news anchors, the nationals like Cronkite, and even the locals were the most recognized, trusted people in a market. And the reason they were recognized and trusted is because they were on your TV 3, 5, 6 nights a week on the news.
Right.
It's the same kind of thing that what we're doing now. I am not trying to buy or sell real estate. I am simply offering you helpful information to help you do it more successfully. And if I can help you, great. This is, in my mind, we're not in a sales business. It's a relationship business.
Beautiful.
And,
I love the way you said that.
That's the way we approach it.
And I think, and I love how it's universal. It's not just real estate. It's putting yourself out there. It's inviting that, conversation. What it is to me, it's a conversation.
Yeah, that's it.
And I love the way you're doing that. You're building relationships. And I can back up everything Tim is saying. I can't tell you how many clients have said, I saw that video you posted on LinkedIn. I listened to your podcast the other day. My God, what else do you do? You're creating it's curiosity. You're creating intrigue. You know what I mean, Tim?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And here's the thing. You are, again, positioning yourself as the guy or gal that they will come to when they need you. Here's a great example. I do. I probably post videos to Facebook every day. And again, I do 5 or 6 different kinds of programs. I rotate them out. In the past week, I've gotten 2 listings. These are about $500,000 in real estate from people who messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, man, been seeing your videos. You're killing it. You know what you're talking about. I want you to represent me in this deal. Okay, this is what, 15 grand or something in commissions I'll make because I took about 10 minutes of my time and did a video on things that they should know when buying or selling real estate. So don't be so salesy. Give them information. Give them content. Again, Gary Vee is the one that is really evangelizing this now. You know, forget the sales pitch, forget the commercial, forget the infomercial. Give them good, solid information that makes their life better, and they will remember you when the time comes and when they need what you do.
Yep, I love it. And this kind of leads to my next question too, because I love the strategy, I love the methodology. Now I wanted to ask you, do you think that people, and by the way, guys in the chat, if you have any questions for our guest, don't forget, I saw one question from Mia, but if you have any questions, leave us a comment. I don't want to take up too much of Tim's time because he's busy just like the rest of us. But what would you say is the one thing holding people back from this content marketing? I feel like when I talk to my clients and I talk to my audience, it's the intimidation of the tech. Is that a obstacle?
It's not the intimidation. Yeah, it's not the intimidation of the tech. It is the lack of self-confidence that you can do it.
Yes.
Okay. Now I mentioned.
Now, how do you overcome that?
Well, a lot of it is, I mean, you know this, Nez, it's personality driven.
There it is.
Okay. In my company, I've got 19 other agents. Maybe 2 are comfortable on camera. The rest of them, it's hard. It's very awkward. It's forced. You know, what I tell folks to do is stop worrying so much about what people are going to think.
There it is.
Okay. Just start with yourself. I started doing little videos on my cell phone, and I would just post them up to Facebook, and it's led to this whole studio thing that we do now. So the number one thing I hear, Nez, is, well, it just makes me so nervous. I'd be terrible at it. Well, yeah, you would be for the first maybe 20, 30 times.
Yeah.
But you keep on trying. A lot of it has to do with, again, the lack of confidence that you can do it. The other is the lack of actual knowledge to share. I got to tell you, brother, I am so sick and tired of these YouTube videos of people sitting in their car pontificating like they're goddamn ace up on a mountain or something. It just gives me the irks, because they think, okay, I've got to say something, so let me think of something really wise to say.
Right.
And, the fact of the matter is those kind of videos are not helping anyone, but they're kind of stroking your ego.
Right.
Unless you're looking to get hired as this oracle on the mountain, nobody cares about your advice on life. I'm sorry, they really don't. But if you can help someone get what they want, this is an old, who said this? Zig Ziglar. If you help enough people get what they want, ultimately you will get what you want. So when you're doing these videos, don't do me, do them.
There it is.
And then just relax and have fun with it. And, I love watching people do these videos where they mess up and they get tickled. And, I mean, Christ, Ned, do you remember our first videos back in the dark ages?
I'm trying to forget them. I've been trying to give myself a lobotomy for those.
I've still got videos out there that are just horrific.
They are. And
terrible,
Neil, just really quickly, Neil asked a question about your YouTube channel. Yeah, so we covered that already, Neil. I think you came in a little bit late. His Facebook channel, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, just to refresh, your Facebook videos are getting the most views, right?
Yeah, honestly, right
at the moment. You're doing live on Facebook?
Yeah.
Are you going live on YouTube too or no?
No.
Okay.
At the moment, YouTube is simply where I stick the videos.
Repository.
Okay. It's just simply a repository. They get almost no views because I don't really promote them. Now, my old author channel, Nez, I still get tons of views on those videos. But no, what I do primarily with my videos is I upload them directly to Facebook because you get better movement in the Facebook algorithm if your video was uploaded to Facebook rather than being linked in from YouTube.
Right.
So right now YouTube is just my repository. There are probably no views on any of those videos. But if you go to my YouTube channel, if you go to Revolved Realty Group and you go to that channel, you'll see all the videos and the views we're getting.
Very nice. Very, very cool. Yeah. And I mean, this is interesting because I've moved, and this just shows it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I've moved a lot of my stuff over from Facebook over to YouTube, not haphazardly or not just because I felt like it, because I looked at the analytics. I looked at the data. Everything I try to do is data-driven, and I was getting more engagement, more views, more community, which I love this Nez Nation community, Real Estate Whisperer, Luis, Flash, Neil, the whole gang here, Super Dave. And so I'm starting to move everything over to YouTube. You need to figure out what's working for you, which platform. But as Tim and I have echoed in the past, hey, Tim, back me up on this. Don't put all your eggs on one platform. Have your headquarters, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you should, number one, you had it right. You pick the platform that works best for you. In my case, that platform is Facebook, because we have a Revolved Realty page. I think we've got probably 3,000 followers there. I've got my own little realtor page. It's probably got 1,000. I've got almost 5,000 on my personal page. And all of my 19 realtors, we all have pages, and they're all intertwined. And when we share a video on the main Revolved page, then we share it out to all of our realtor pages. Nice. So for me, Facebook works better. Plus, you have to remember also, my demographic by and large are folks in the 30 to 60 range. A lot of those folks have never been on YouTube, but they're constantly on Facebook. Right. And so our focus has not been on building a YouTube following at all. Right. We are focusing on Facebook and our website. We get a lot of traffic organically on our website.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if you think about real estate and your demographic, Facebook seems to make, I could be wrong, but Facebook seems to make the most sense.
Well, it does. That's why we're there.
Yeah.
If you look at and it's kind of funny, if you go to YouTube and type in real estate, the channels related to real estate that get traffic are channels that are teaching people how to become realtors or real estate coaches. Nobody goes to YouTube really searching for how to buy a house in Huntsville, Alabama.
Right.
Or that sort of thing. So it is a very different demographic and market. But it's like my author page, when I was consulting and coaching authors, I built that on YouTube because there was a humongous community on YouTube.
Right.
So it really depends on what you're peddling and where your audience is going to lie. Real estate is a very social business.
Yes.
So being on Facebook, I can go on and share some silly meme on Facebook and get 4,000 or 5,000 shares and likes.
Right.
And so that is, for real estate, I think that is the best platform, unless, again, you're teaching people how to be agents, and then that's on YouTube.
Also, you got to think about your region, too. You're in Alabama. So there's also different, to me, it's all about demographic. It's all about region. It's all about audience. It's all about who's. So your objective is to sell homes and grow your business. Mm-hmm. And Facebook is where you can maybe, for you specifically, can make conversions. So,
well, you think about this, Nez. Google, YouTube is the new Google, if you will. People, if I want to know something, I don't go to Google and type it in anymore. I go to YouTube.
Right.
And so YouTube has very much become a how-to platform.
Right.
How to fix your dryer, how to do internet marketing, how to do marketing for realtors or whatever. But again, if you are in the market for a house, you've got your realtor.com, you got your Zillows.
Yes.
But again, that community is on Facebook. I can put a single post on my Revolved Facebook group, and it is shared out among thousands and thousands of folks. So from a marketing and community standpoint, Facebook, I think, it works best for real estate.
And we got some questions in the chat asking about how you rank on Google. You're ranking on Google through your website, correct?
Yes, yeah. But also keep in mind, Google and YouTube are tied in.
Yes.
They are pretty much one and the same. So let's say I want to rank highly for, buy a house in Huntsville, Alabama. And, if I went to Google and tried to buy that, it's really, really super expensive. But I can do a video with those keywords. And if I rank high on YouTube, it ranks high on Google.
Right.
Okay. But Google to me I don't do any AdWords. I'm not actively marketing on Google. All of my advertising and marketing dollars are spent on Facebook first. And then I also do some LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a nice place. LinkedIn is a really great place to build a brand.
Now you're in my neck of the woods, baby.
Yeah. Well, the reason I do that is I don't try to sell houses on LinkedIn.
Of course not.
I network with other realtors and industry, and mainly I'm building my brand because they see my videos every day and go, "Hey, who's this guy?"
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons we've grown so quickly is realtors see what we're doing and want to join and play with us.
Right.
And so I brought on 6 realtors in the last 2 months. And so it's also a really good recruitment tool.
That's awesome. So let me just kind of review really quickly. So you have really implemented social media, video, live streaming, using content marketing, which is to me selling through branding, not selling through direct kind of like a direct ask or infomercially or salesy. But not that there's anything wrong with a direct ask, but if it's done in a tactful way, which a lot of people, that's a tough thing to teach. Yeah. Right? Buy my bikes. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
But I mean, so, and you're also using Facebook really well and your website. And let me ask you this. This is all organic. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you doing any sponsored posts or any paid ads?
We do. We will boost our Friday show, and I'll boost some posts. Like if we're doing an open house or we've got some big announcement or something, I'll boost that. But we're going to start doing more of that because I'm selling sponsorships now to the shows and to the videos.
Yeah, talk about
that. So
I'm
going to have more money to play with. But think about this. I can put up a 5-minute video on the 3 things you need to fix in your house to make it sell. I can do a $20 boost on that and get 2,000 to 3,000 eyeballs on that post. Just for branding, $20. I mean, it's a bargain. So I'm starting to do more and more of that. It really depends on whether you're doing it for branding, for lead generation, for views, whatever your target is. Like with the videos, we're doing for views. Now we do Facebook ads for lead generation, but we don't usually use videos to do those. We'll do some kind of still ad kind of thing.
Right. Okay, so we have a question from the Real Estate Whisperer who says, I'm confused. He said he was utilizing YouTube with SEO, and then he said he was all about Facebook. You want to clear that up, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm not doing any SEO. I put my videos on YouTube. I set my keywords, and I let it run. I mean, I know now which keywords will rank me. I'm more concerned with ranking high on YouTube than I am Google. To be honest with you, because if you're in the real estate industry and you go to Google and do a search, there are ad, and you're down here, but you can go to YouTube and type in Huntsville, Alabama real estate and see 8 videos. So I'm not really doing any SEO at all. I just put the videos up there, and really they're just there because I don't have anywhere else to put them, but I do the keywords and they'll come up on YouTube.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I'm not really doing any SEO.
Yeah. And again, I think what it's different for everybody. Some people eat, sleep, and breathe on Google. Some people eat, sleep, and breathe on Facebook. I know a lot of people who eat, sleep, and breathe only on Snapchat. They don't even touch LinkedIn. What are your thoughts too on that, Tim? You hear a lot about this. Carlos Gill at Vid Summit said this. You need to have an omni-channel presence. Now, I do believe that you should be everywhere, but I also think you have to have focus. So it's sort of like tempered, you should be everywhere, because I look at it as if a CBS, ABC, NBC, and CNN are all going to give you free airtime, take advantage of that. Just put in the work. But you have to focus on certain platforms. What are your thoughts on that and how it works for you?
I think you find the platform that works best for you and you concentrate on it. That's what I do. I mean, I know folks that have Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all of those, and that's great. Instagram, again, this is what works for us. I focus primarily on Facebook, like 99%, and maybe LinkedIn 1%, because it works. That's where my demographic is. I'm an old man. I don't really understand things like Snapchat and Instagram and that sort of thing. But again, you got to remember
my Instagram at all?
I've got an Instagram account. I've got a Twitter account with 15,000 followers that I never post to. So, I mean, again, it goes back to my demographic.
Right.
If I was a young, hip like you, Nez, if I was young and hip like you.
Yeah, I exemplify young and hip.
But you got to remember, I mean, here's a good example of this. Okay, my clientele, my personal listings are more folks in my age range because I typically do only listings. But I've got millennial agents, and their clients are millennials.
Yeah.
those millennials hang out on the Instagram and
Big
Snapchat
time.
and that sort of thing. So if I was in that demographic, I would be chasing that squirrel as well.
Yes.
I think you got to figure out what works for your business and what works for you.
Right.
And this, just doing the Facebook is what works for me. But
Right.
again, real estate is a very different duck. I mean, it was back when I was doing speaking and writing and that sort of thing, I was on every platform.
Right.
But now that I'm focusing on a narrow niche like real estate, all of my eggs pretty much are on Facebook.
Yep. Very nice. Very cool. I love it. So what's the future hold for us in Revolved Realty? What's going on? What do you got planned coming up next? Anything in 2019 that the Nez Nation audience should be thinking about with video and social, or how you're doing it, what you're going to do differently?
Yeah,
Or just keep on cooking?
I'm sorry?
Or just keep on cooking?
I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. The one thing that I am going to focus more on are the interview type programs like this, where I bring in a closing attorney or a real estate broker other than myself, or a mortgage guy, and we do little 5-minute quick video Q&A. Those get just tons of traffic for us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue doing what we're doing. We're going to keep doing the 30-minute show, all the videos. As a company, we are branching out. We're actually setting up to where we can license Revolved real estate offices in any city that wants one following our model. So I think in the future, we're going to work more on that. We've got 3 cities here in our sphere that we're going to be opening up soon. And, there may be a Revolved real estate office near you soon. We'll see.
That's really awesome. That's fantastic. Well, hey,
Yep.
Tim, I want to just say again, thank you so much for being on the show. You
Sure.
absolutely rocked it. Thank you for the great information. Thank you for your time. Tell our Nez Nation audience that you have the floor before we close, where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you, where they can see what you're doing with video and marketing.
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is go to our website, revolved.com. It's like the door revolved. And you can click on video library and you can see everything that we're doing. You can go to YouTube on my YouTube channel and just search for Tim Knox. I am on Facebook, Tim Knox, and also the Revolved Realty Group page on Facebook is there. So I'm everywhere, man.
Okay.
Same old.
Fantastic. All right, guys, if you have any last-second questions for our guest, please leave them in the chat, and we can take a few questions here. I wanted to ask you, Tim, are you still doing speaking gigs at all? Because I've been getting a lot more speaking gigs and finding that to be pretty lucrative and just fun. I mean, I love doing it.
Yeah.
Are you doing any real estate conferences or anything like that?
I'm not. As far as real estate goes, I am a little bitty teeny fish in the industry. So, I did speaking for many, many years when I was in internet marketing. My thing, Nez, honestly, is I hate to travel. If people want to, if you want to hear me speak, just go to Facebook.
You old man, you're such an old man. You know that?
You know what? I know I look much younger, but I really am an old man. But
exactly right.
No, I don't know. Everybody keeps asking me about, and this is a really good point. Everybody asks me about speaking. Are you writing a book on real estate? The truth of the matter is, I've been in real estate a year. I started this company a year ago, but because of all the video marketing we do, it establishes you as an expert.
Yes.
And so people naturally think, are you going to speak? Are you going to, I'm not going to say I'll never do it, but I'm not sure what I could share with anybody that people would pay to hear. So, we'll see.
Okay, we got a question from Neil. How well do open house sales do?
You know what? There are realtors that will not do an open house to save your life.
Really?
I am a big believer in open houses. Even if just it's 2 hours of your time. For Christ's sake, do an open house.
Right.
But we actually get a lot of leads and a lot of sales off of open houses. Now, a lot of the times it depends on the house, depends on the location, that sort of thing. But I'm still a believer in open houses, and I think I'm one of the few.
Any idea? I have a question. Any idea? Because I hear a lot of people tell me, well, the housing market's kind of rough right now. Or what are your thoughts on, hey, Nez, you should sell your house. We're headed for a crash. You hear all these rumors. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Hey, Nez, you need to sell your house. We're headed for a crash. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, and my market here is a little different than the rest of the country, but the entire country has been on a hot market tear for a long time. And I think right now what you're seeing, it's not a crash. It's not a recession. I think the market is just kind of calming down and kind of adjusting. It's the third week in January, and I was counting up, we've already got like 14 listings this year. We've got 8 contracts closing. We've got like 12 or 13 buyer clients. So our market here is incredibly fast and hot.
Wow.
I've sold houses, honestly, in this market in the last year in 2 hours. So again, it depends on the house. It depends on the location. But nationally, I don't think we're headed for any kind of recession. There is no bubble. I think the market is just kind of slowed down a little bit, but it's still a great time to buy and sell real estate.
And plus, isn't the hot time of the season, how buying season coming up? Isn't summer a big time?
Yeah, spring is ramps up. Summer is always hot. Fall is good, and that will go into end of October, 1st of November. We didn't do a whole lot in November, December, but again, it was our first year in business, so we didn't have our funnel full.
Right.
This year we'll be full, closing all the way through. But yeah, spring, summer, fall is the optimal time to buy or sell a house.
Well, for doing this for a year and already crushing it, and you're using everything that I try to advocate on this channel, which is bringing humanness to this digitalness, creating a brand, putting your face out there, putting your story out there. To me, personal branding is just a word. It's just a phrase. But to me, it's synonymous with modern communications. It's literally modern communications. And if you're not doing it, you're missing out. And Tim, I think you're a perfect example of how your background in video, your background in marketing has just adapted really well to the current climate. And it doesn't sound like, guys, you need a lot of tech to get started. All you need is that thing in your pocket. All you need is that thing in your pocket. Look at this. Niminati comes in at the last second. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you.
Nick.
Wow. We got Nick
Nick
in the house. Yes, Tim Knox, our old buddy, came on, who's now crushing it in the real estate business, taking everything he's learned from you, Nick, everything he's learned from you and the gang.
Hey, you know what? Having Nick Nimmin on here is kind of like having Elvis walk in when you're on stage drunk doing karaoke. Nick would be Elvis in this scenario, and you and I would be drunk doing karaoke.
Well, that means we got to get Nick drunk with us. Nick, have a drink.
There you go. Yep.
I always recommend to my viewers, this show is much, much better with some kind of beverage.
A nice warm beverage.
A nice warm beverage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're too old for that. We don't. It's so funny. Everything that I used to do in my 20s, it's the exact opposite that I do now in my 40s. It's insane, isn't it, Tim?
I don't even remember my 20s. I see pictures, and I'm like, looks like I was having fun.
You still have your phone on alert to remind you where you are currently, right?
Oh, wait a minute. I have to take my pills. Hang on just a second.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, hey, Tim, anytime you're around, I can't wait to see what the next 2-3 years, and I know this too. I know that no matter what happens in the real estate business or any kind of business, and I said this before we went live, and I meant this. I'm going to say it on the air too. Tim's going to survive. Guys like Tim are always going to survive. Shut down,
cockroaches
no
and
shutdown,
me.
no real estate, no bubble this, bubble that. Guys like Tim are always going to survive because it's in his DNA. He's got that business kind of eye of the tiger, that sharpness, that sort of DNA that's, I think, always going to carry you through. And the fundamentals of that are, to me, communications, knowing how to deal with people, building relationships, and putting your story out there. I've said this before, and I want Tim's thoughts on this, and I want your guys' thoughts in the chat. A true salesman never sells. They just tell their story really well. And if you do that, you're going to win. To me, Tim, what you were talking about earlier, just really quickly, when you were saying, I don't sell, I just share knowledge and I do content marketing. To me, that's the same thing. You're not selling, but you are selling. You're just selling not like a douche. You're not douche selling.
Yeah.
Did that come out right?
That was pretty good. I almost believed that. That was really good. No, the thing about it is I'm not selling. I am facilitating the transaction. if that makes sense.
Oh, there
selling
you go.
to me,
now, who's a politician, folks?
I am. No,
hey, by the way, Tim is going to be running for mayor of Alabama, so you need to.
I did have the mayor on my show the other day, but no. Here's the thing.
Hey, Tim, I could see you in the House of Representatives.
I would, remember the guy, was it from Ontario, the drunk guy? He was the mayor, and he would show up at the city council meetings drunk.
Oh, I love it. That's you.
No, but seriously, here's the thing. It's not about selling. It is about helping people get what they want, whether it is to sell their home, buy a home, learn how to do speaking, learn how to write, learn how to do YouTube, help them get what they want, and you don't have to sell them. Remember this, no one ever wants to be sold. Sold is a bad, ugly, negative. Look at look what that guy sold me. Everybody wants to buy. Hey, look what I bought. You see the difference? Selling is negative. Buying is positive. You don't want to be the guy on the negative side. And here's the thing about branding and about what I do, and I call it relationship marketing. It is being at the top of their mind in a positive way when they are ready to do what you do. When they need your help, you want them to go, hey, let's ask Tim because I think he knows what he's doing, and let's use him. Yeah. So it really is about just being top of mind. And then if they do use your services, you damn well better deliver. There you because go. If you don't, that's a whole nother can of worms.
We're going to have you back on. That's a whole nother show. Once you do, not sell them, but include them in the buying process, now what do you do? Well, you got to deliver. Right. I love that. You got to back it up.
Yep, exactly.
Hey, Tim, you absolutely rocked, brother, and it's so nice to talk to you after all these years and hang out with you. Anytime you're in town, or I say the virtual town, anytime you're in the virtual town or the area,
I'll stop by.
On by, say hello. Come, I'm going to be keeping an eye on you, and I just think I wish you nothing but continued success. I can't wait to see where Revolved heads in the next 2-3 years. I just think you're going to crush it, and I know you're going to be on fire. So thank you again for having, taking the time and being on the show. We really, really appreciate it.
Hey, buddy, anytime.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, Tim. Thank you so much.
See ya.
Okay, guys. So let's just wrap up really quickly. Again, isn't Tim great? I thought it was just fantastic having Tim on the show. Really quickly before we get out of here, we go live every single Sunday. We do our quintessential live stream show where I come on and we talk about personal branding, discovering your purpose, getting your message out there so you can earn more money, grow your business, or just build your community. Wait, let me do the overlay. I can't miss out on the overlay. There it is. Live every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And now we're bringing our Facebook live show over to YouTube. As you can just see with Tim, we're bringing our interview show over as well. So please, please, please make sure that you click subscribe, hit the bell notification. So every time we go live, every time we post a new video, don't forget, guys, the personal branding keynote speech vlog, part 3. Part 3 is going to be coming out, hopefully today. But if you hit that bell notification, you won't miss anything. I still got a few things I got to do with it. But part 3, I know you guys have been really looking forward to that. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, your Real Estate Whisperer, Hybrid Steel, Neil, Christian. Love you guys so much. Make sure you smash that smash button. And by the way, if you need help with your personal branding, if you need help with any kind of coaching or consulting, make sure you reach out to me, ProfessorNez.com. I'm more than happy to help you. Thank you so much. We'll definitely see you Sunday, but watch out for part 3 of the personal branding keynote speech that I did for Westcom. Love you guys. Thank you so, so much as always. And we will see you definitely next time. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. We'll see ya.